Welcome back to the Open Wheel Offline League Season 4, round number 15, just coming off the Triple Crown race at Pocono, here for qualifying at Summit Point. We're here for the first time ever, and you can see an unfamiliar car in the back. We have a brand new team, Team Canada Dry, running the 44 and the 94, both by rookie drivers. The 44 will be Lewis Hamilton in his debut, the 94 will be Dawa Tenzin, a Tibetan driver making his debut run. Here are the cars in Group A. Miles Rowe, Chet Jordan, David Malukas. Yuki Tsunoda, your winner at Pocono, is the first car to hit the track. So we're going to have to see if he can back it up. Now have 2 wins on the season. The other drivers, Benjamin Peterson, Robbie Lohr, Marcus Armstrong, Lewis Hamilton in his debut, Mahavir Raghunathan, Ryan Preece, Guy Gagné, Ethan Martz, and Catherine Legg. So those are the 13 drivers. This is the most cars we've ever had at one race. We're gonna have to see if the new guys can get up to speed, as Tsunoda's gonna set the first lap of a 52.699. That was kind of an outlap, so not a true telling of his speed. It's a very fast track, and then you get into the slow section up here. It's a quite narrow raceway. Gonna see some pretty low lap times. So hopefully the drivers give each other enough space. Tsunoda's first true lap of 50.5, as let's see what Gagné has. You'll come to the line. That may have also been an outlap. Ryan Preece at a fast second sector. It's going to be hard for me to tell who's on the outlaps and who aren't. I believe Hamilton will be the next car set to go, so we're going to have to see how this team does in their debut. They will finish out the season with 6 races to go. Hamilton going to go up to P2, about half a second off Tsunoda. As Tsunoda is trying to go faster, he is just shy of that. As Benjamin Peterson will go 5th. Guy Gagné goes 2nd. Ryan Preece looking good. 2 pink sectors. He's going to put it in P1 with Armstrong just behind by 2/10. David Malukas now coming to the line, has had a good streak of races. He'll finish 8th so far. Here comes Mahavir Raghunathan coming off a 17th at Pocono. Doesn't improve much. Catherine Legg goes 9th. Had a bad time at Pocono. Got sent airborne. Hamilton gonna get a little bit of a draft off Martz, but not quick enough, as Chet Jordan's gonna go P5. As that puts Hamilton on the cutoff. Peterson gonna go 3rd. Guy Gagné, he's gonna go 2nd, right in front of Armstrong. Miles Rowe on essentially an outlap. Ryan Preece and Marcus Armstrong not gonna go faster this time, getting impeded ever so slightly. Lucas will go up to 8th, but he's still below the cutoff. Currently Chet Jordan on the cut line. As Raghunathan slowing down the 07 of Catherine Legg just a bit. Legg will improve up to 9th, but I don't believe that's good enough. Lewis Hamilton will go to the line 3rd. Currently he's in the next round, as Chet Jordan gonna go to the top. He's gonna go P1. Won the last road course race at Watkins Glen. Peterson goes third. Gagne comes to the line, not faster. Ryan Preece, however, a double pink sector as he will come to the line. And he's going to go to the top. Marcus Armstrong on the cutoff, currently stuck behind the number 12 as David Malukas goes third, which pushes Armstrong out. Armstrong down in 7th. He's won the last 2 poles, but right now below the cutoff by 6/100ths. Catherine Legg going to improve to 9th. Not good enough. Raghunathan going to go faster, but only to 13th. Chet Jordan's going to go faster, but can't go to the top. Mart's still a bit off. Robbie Lohr not improving. Peterson goes P2. He's got some solid pace in it in qualifying recently. Miles Rowe well below the cutoff. Had a good run at Pocono, especially his teammate Yuki Tsunoda, but both cars currently below the cut line. Rowe goes faster, but not enough to put him in. He's down in 11th. Armstrong immediately going to come back out, going to be in some clean air. Which he's going to need as he's currently below the cutoff with 3 minutes remaining in Group A. David Malukas will come in. Miles Rowe going to come to the line. And it's going to be better, but only move him up to 10th. Currently, Robbie Lohr struggling. He's fallen down to 8th in the standings, has not really had the best run at it recently. Has just been tumbling down the order. Armstrong coming around to complete his warm-up lap, essentially. Robbie was on a fast one, but came into pit road. He's out by well over half a second. Miles Rowe still pushing. I'm interested to see what the 33 has. A lot of cars coming out at one time. Tires are going to be quite cold, so if he can get them up to temp. Faster that time around in Sector 2. So he's going to come to the line. He's going to have another lap of clean air in front of him. It's faster, but he's still out by 5/100ths of a second. Tsunoda below the cut line does not go faster. Ethan Martz, I think, had a little bit of an off track. Currently down in 12th, well below the cutoff and well below the car in front of him. Ryan Preece has a fastest 3rd sector, but he's still at the top, looking pretty good. Hamilton on the cut line. Chet Jordan up in 3rd, as that 33 is going pretty quick now. Let's watch to see what he has. Double green. Just needs to find 4/100ths, as this one's going to be good. This one might go to the top. 2nd place. So right now he's in, and that pushes Hamilton out. Currently not advancing. Tsunoda goes faster, but not enough to put him in, as Guy Gagné is on a fast lap right now. Green and pink sectors. So he's going to come to the line. This one, I think, will go to the top. Yes, it does. Guy Gagné to the top. Malukas on the cutoff. Catherine Legg goes faster, but still down in 9th. Hamilton on the cutoff has checkered flag. So Peterson will be the first one to get to the checkered. He's in 4th, looks pretty good. Miles Rowe comes out of pit lane, he won't advance. Armstrong got enough to put him in. Robbie well below the cutoff. Tsunoda's on a fast lap right now. Watch this 27. Is it enough? Yes, it is. He's going to go P2. That puts Chet Jordan on the cutoff. David Malukas now gets knocked out. Does he have enough to respond? No, he doesn't. Raghunathan going faster. It's going to be faster, but still at the bottom as Ryan Preece is on double pink sectors. This is going to go P1. March trying to go faster. Catherine Legg trying to go faster. Neither of them do, as Chet Jordan's going to go up to 5th, but doesn't really matter as he is advancing anyways. So Ryan Preece up by a considerable margin. So Ryan Preece leads the way in Group A with Guy Gagne finishing second with a pretty quick lap. Yuki Tsunoda, your Pocono winner, in third, advancing to the next round. Vasily Men Racing Cars of Marcus Armstrong and Chet Jordan will both advance. And then the last car, Benjamin Peterson, will get by about 2.5 tenths. So eliminated, going to be starting down in 13th will be the 25 of David Malukas, just barely misses. 15th will be where Lewis Hamilton debuts at Summit Point. So in the middle of the pack, Catherine Legg going to be down in 17th. 19th will be the 12 of Miles Rowe. Another rough qualifying result for Robbie Lohr. He'll start all the way down in 21st. 23rd will be the 95 of Ethan Martz. And then all the way down in 25th, we now have a 13th row, and Mahavir Raghunathan will be the first person to occupy it. We'll be back in just a second for Group B. We're back for Group B of qualifying here at Summit Point. These are the drivers that will be in this group. The number 9 of Connor Zilich, coming off second place at Pocono, currently your Rookie of the Year leader. Louis Foster still holds on to his points lead. Although it grew, there's a lot more cars in the fight now. He's up by 15 points over teammate Shane Van Gisbergen, all three swindlers of the Immortals cars in this qualifying group. You also have the 18 of Callum Ilott coming off a 22nd at Pocono. Gail Barnhart, who we're hearing may not finish the season. We have the 43 of Shane Van Gisbergen, second in the championship. Lindsey Brewer coming off another solid result. Jacob Abel, Stingray Robb, Alessio Deletta, Dawa Tenzin in his debut. The Tibetan driver making his debut here. Teammate Lewis Hamilton didn't advance in round one, but let's see what he has. The number 99 of Brennan Hubbard, the 00 of Glubler Lore, and the 03 of Dorian Pinn. as we already have the 99 of Brendan Hubbard out. Let's go on board around Summit Point. Summit Point, a very small racetrack, but quite fast. A lot of winding turns as Hubbard will now come around the final turn and set the first lap of the session. The mark to beat, 52.3 is his first lap. Quite a bit off from what the cutoff was in Group A. Louis Foster on his outlap almost goes P1. This 11 car gonna be interesting to watch as Alessio Deletta on his first flyer. See what he has. He's gonna come to the line and it will go P1 at a 51.9. Deletta finished last at Pocono after crashing out, but he had some solid pace in that car. Brendan Hubbard not going faster. Yes, he does actually, but it's about the same, so no big improvement. Dawa Tenzin on his first flying lap in the open wheel offline league. He's got Louis Foster right behind him. Foster's going to go to the top, Tenzin only to 10th. And that's with a lot of cars not setting flying laps, so that's not good right now. Abel second, Barnhart third, Brewer fifth. Dorian Pin goes second. Here comes Connor Zilich as he's going to go P1. Alessio Deletta goes third. He's looking to have some pace. Shane Van Gisbergen now looking for another pole, and he's going to go to the top. Callum Ilott going to go sixth, currently on the cutoff, as the 77 of Stingray Rob will come around next. Coming off his best result of the season, he'll go P8, Hubbard P10. Tenzin now still got the 11 right behind him. A lot faster this lap, but still at the bottom. As let's see what the 42 of Gale Barnhart has. He's going to go 6th. Now in the cutoff, Jacob Abel in P8. Connor Zilich going to go to the top by 3/10. Alessio Deletta looks good. He's going to go 2nd. Shane Van Gisbergen will come around next. He's going to go P2. Callum Ilott below the cutoff, but he's going to go to 4th, as here comes Stingray Rob. Stingray going to go to 7th, but 3/10 off the cutoff. Tenzin still ahead of Foster. Foster has dropped down to 5th, just a little bit ahead of Dorian Pin. Tenzin jumps Hubbard now, so in 11th. Lindsey Brewer goes 5th, and that's going to push out Dorian Pin, who does go faster, but is still just barely out. But currently Pin not advancing. Shane Van Gisbergen going to come around, and this one is going to go to the top. But Callum Ilott also looking pretty good. This one will go P3. Top 3 shifting around a lot. Stingray Rob will go faster, but still sits in 8th. Tenzin will come into pit road, so will the 11 of Louis Foster. Barnhart will come in, the 00 of Glubler on his first flyer. He's going to stay in 13th, so right now it's not looking good for the 00. Hubbard on an out lap. Stingray Rob gonna enter pit road now. Let's see if the 00 has any more speed. He is going faster. The green in the first sector. Down this curved straightaway and through the final turn, he's gonna come to the line. Doesn't look too bad. Gonna go P9 right behind teammate Stingray Rob. Glubler has moved upwards in the standings to 13th. That's the highest he's been this season. Yawa Tenzin currently looking to qualify 24th in his debut unless he can find a little bit more pace. Gonna have to see what that 94 has. Glubler still looks faster, but this may be his in lap. And I don't think there's gonna be enough time to see him back out again. As he's gonna come in. Only about a minute left in qualifying. Hubbard currently down in 13th, which would be 26th position. About 7 hundredths off the 94 of Jawa Tenzin. Jacob Abel down in 11th. And he's going to have Gale Barnhart right behind him, so these two may trip each other up here in qualifying, which could cause both of them to be eliminated. Alessio Deletta looking good in 4th place so far. Dorian Pinn currently out. Points leader Louis Foster also not comfortably in. Hubbard looking for more pace. As he finds a little bit more pace, he's going to move up to 12th. But that's the checkered flag. 47 crosses the line with the number 9, so their qualifying is over. Callum Ilott going to go 3rd. Barnhart, he's not going to improve. Louis Foster not looking like he's improving. That could be an issue if the 03 bumps in. Tenzin's qualifying is complete. Van Gisbergen at the top. Dorian Pinn going faster in the second sector. Only needs to find 5 thousandths. And it's enough. She's going to bump the points leader. With not enough time on the clock, points leader Louis Foster will fall at the first hurdle. He has not qualified well recently and has been losing out on a lot of points because of that. But it's his teammate Shane Van Gisbergen and his main championship rival who will go to the top of this group. Connor Zilich in 2nd, not far behind him. Callum Ilott in 3rd. The 2 Banshees cars of Alessio Deletta and Lindsey Brewer will advance. So with Benjamin Peterson as well, that's all 3 Banshees cars. And then Dorian Pinn makes it by 1/10 over teammate Louis Foster. Foster gonna start down in 14th. So a lot of work to be done tomorrow. 16th will be Stingray Rob, and then right behind him in 18th will be the double zero of Glover Lore. 20th, a rough qualifying result for Gail Barnhart once again, with 22nd being the 75 of Jacob Abel. 24th will be the 99 of Brennan Hubbard. And then Dawa Tenzin will be at the back of the field for his debut in 26th. So that's it for round one. We'll be back in just a moment for round two. We're back for round two here at Summit Point for qualifying. Your 12 that advance are on the left side of your screen. The number 9 of Connor Zilich, 18 Callum Ilott, Chet Jordan, Yuki Tsunoda, Benjamin Peterson, Marcus Armstrong, Shane Van Gisbergen, Lindsey Brewer, Ryan Preece, Alessio Deletta, Guy Gagne, and Dorian Pin. The only multi-car team that got all three cars advanced were the 87, 47, and 29 that belonged to the Banshees of Little Miami. So, looking good in qualifying so far for that team. Nobody out on track just yet. Already a minute down. Benjamin Peterson coming off a top 5 at Pocono. Car right behind him, Ryan Preece, coming off a heartbreak at Pocono. Probably had the car to beat. It was either him or Armstrong. But he set the fastest lap on the final lap. A couple more laps, I think he could have gotten his way to the front. But unfortunately, that's not how it ended for him. 9th place is all he could muster, as Benjamin Peterson on his first flying lap. A pink second sector. So not looking too bad so far. Here he comes to the line, 51.5. Ryan Preece looking very good. As Peterson going to be a little bit impeded by his teammate, as Preece is just going to blow that out of the water. A 50.8 is his first lap. Lindsey Brewer in the 47 will come around next. Qualified 15th at Pocono, but finished 6th. Currently a little bit off. Jet Jordan will come around next. He's going to go P2, but off by half a second. Dorian Pin, best qualifier out of her team at Pocono, had just barely beat out Louis Foster, who is the points leader, to make round 2, as Pin will go to 2nd. Benjamin Peterson got a little bit held up by his teammate. He has a pink 3rd sector, as Van Gisbergen will go to the top by 4/10. Ryan Preece, not enough to keep up with him so far. Here comes the number 9 of Connor Zilic, as he will go P3. Lindsey Brewer goes to P6, bumps her way in. Marcus Armstrong currently below the cutoff. Chet Jordan does not go faster. Guy Gagné sits 11th. He goes up to 9th. Dorian Pin has a pink 1st sector, as she will go to the top. She's going to go P1. Yuki Tsunoda sits down in 10th, has Benjamin Peterson right behind him. Both will come to the line. Peterson does not go faster. Tsunoda in 9th. Alessio Deletta can only go up to 11th. Preece does not go faster. Callum Ilott currently in 12th, has Connor Zilic right behind him. Ilott's going to go 6th and get into the fast 6, but only by 300ths. Lindsey Brewer right behind, not far off, as Armstrong is going to go to P4 and bump out Ilott. Chet Jordan now on the cutoff, in by 600ths of a second. Guy Gagné will go up to 10th. Dorian Pin, stay P1, but Shane Van Gisbergen is on a flyer right now. All pink for Van Gisbergen. Tsunoda's going to go to 7th, just barely misses. But, oh wow, Van Gisbergen to the top by a very large margin. Van Gisbergen looking for another pole on the season. As here comes Connor Zilic. This one will go to 4th. Still over a second off Van Gisbergen. Armstrong will now come to the line. Does not go faster. Both silly men racing cars in this group just barely moving on. But it is very close. Guy Gagné will go faster, but sits in 11th still. Yuki Tsunoda just barely below the cutoff. Alessio Deletta going faster, but down in 12th by a pretty decent amount. We'll find about half a second there, but still pretty far down. Here comes the 9. He's going to come into pit lane. Callum Ilott down in 8th. Gonna need to find some speed. And just barely doesn't go faster. Peterson down in 10th will come around. Won't go faster this time. Guy Gagné now pitting. Tsunoda will come into pit lane. Looks like he was going faster, but had to bail, wasn't going to make it. Pilot going faster, but he's going to come into pit lane. He's not going to be able to finish that lap. We don't know if he'll have enough time to come back out with 2 minutes on the clock. Dorian Pin in second looks pretty solid so far. As here comes Benjamin Peterson to the line. Does he have enough to go faster? No, he doesn't. He's going to be in some traffic right in the middle of his two teammates. Both Sillyman racing cars just barely above the cutoff. Actually, Armstrong's up by a pretty decent bit. The gap between the 33 and the 24 is the largest, except for at the front. Priest is in third, but down by a whole second. Dorian Pin not going faster. Peterson down in 10th. Doesn't have enough. Lindsey Brewer in 9th. Will not go faster. Alessio Deletta is getting passed by Shane Van Gisbergen. Yuki Tsunoda just below the cutoff. Gonna have about one more lap. Marcus Armstrong in 5th, Chet Jordan in 6th, looking to defend their spots. Jordan has Priest right behind him. We kind of have a gaggle of cars at the top of the course. Ten seconds to go. As it looks like Van Gisbergen and Brewer just barely won't get to the line in time. So Van Gisbergen will advance, but Brewer and Deletta will be eliminated. Zilich sits in 4th. Tsunoda just below the cutoff. Does he have enough to advance? It's going to be close. He goes faster in the 3rd sector, but it's not enough. Priest did get by Jordan and will go faster. Actually, no, by 1,000 won't go faster. As this gaggle of cars will get to the line one last time, but none of them are going faster. So no late bump outs in round 2 this time. So Shane Van Gisbergen leads the way once again, looking for pole number 6 as he goes to the fast 6. Dorian Pin looking for a first pole. Ryan Priest also looking for number 6. Will advance. Connor Zilich in the fast 6 once again, and then the Swindlers cars of Marcus Armstrong and Chet Jordan will advance once again. Then eliminated, starting 7th, will be the 27 of Yuki Tsunoda. He started from 7th at Pocono, so see if he could do it again. Callum Ilott doesn't have enough time to go back out again. He will qualify 8th. Lindsey Brewer will qualify 9th. 10th will be Benjamin Peterson. 11th, Guy Gagné. And then in 12th will be Alessio Deletta. So that's it for round 2. Coming up next will be the Fast 6. So these are the 6 drivers that make it to the Fast Six: Connor Zilic, Chet Jordan, Marcus Armstrong, Shane Van Gisbergen, Ryan Preece, and Dorian Pin. A lot of these drivers could score some good points today. As you look at drivers in this group, a lot of them could really use the points. Ryan Preece sits third in the championship, down by just 17 points. That's not a big margin. Dorian Pin fell out of the top 10. Hasn't finished in the top 10 since Iowa. Hasn't finished in the top 5 since Milwaukee. Shane Van Gisbergen, he's down by 15 in the championship, so he could really use the points. Chet Jordan, he's 29 points out, so a little bit of a bigger gap to the championship, but he could be in play. Marcus Armstrong is all the way down in 16th in points, has just had a lot of bad luck. Pocono, once again, was another case of that. Got the pole, led second most laps, but couldn't make it on fuel. Had to restart at the back and finished 13th. And then Connor Zilic sits 6th in the championship, currently leads Rookie of the Year. Armstrong looking for 3 straight poles. Got some tough competition, but it can be done. Armstrong with a clean track ahead. Van Gisbergen going to be behind his teammate Dorian Pin. Hopefully that doesn't cause a lot of disruption for him. Connor Zilic going to be right behind Chet Jordan. The only cars in this group that haven't gotten a pole this season are Pin and Jordan. Both have sat on the pole before, but just not this season. Armstrong going to go to the top with a 53.7. Needs a lot more pace if he wants to get it done. As Van Gisbergen on the outlap goes P1. So that's alarmed for everyone else, as he does blow by Pin pretty convincingly. Armstrong going faster. Pink first sector, pink second sector. See what he has in this final sector, but Van Gisbergen is flying. Gonna go a 51.9. He's gonna go to the top. Ryan Preece gonna come around next. He's on the outlap. But Van Gisbergen pink in the first sector. Clear of his teammate. Second sector looks good. This may be a pretty big, as he gets to 50.2, so he's up by 1.5 seconds. Dorian Pin goes third behind Armstrong. Zilic currently in 5th. Does he have anything to try to go for pole? Pink third sector, but that's only going to take him to P2. Chet Jordan in 5th. Armstrong trying to go faster, has a green first sector. He's not going to go faster this lap. Ryan Preece sits in 6th, as he's going to jump up to P5. But currently Van Gisbergen going even faster. He has the most poles in this series for a reason. He just got a contract extension. They at the team, so he's going to go faster. He's currently up by a full second over everyone else. Dorian Pin does not go faster. Connor Zilic is going faster. He may be the only guy who has a shot. He's going to cut it down to a 50.5. Jet Jordan a 51.6 as he goes up to third. Ryan Preece going faster. Van Gisbergen going faster again. Preece going to go to P3 with a 51.0. Van Gisbergen continues to go faster. Another double pink. It's going to be just a little bit faster. He's up by 7 whole tenths. Dorian Pin going to gain a lot of time. Going to go to P4. Connor Zilich in the pink on the second sector. He's going to get to the line, and he's going to go to the top. So Connor Zilich currently on provisional pole. Chet Jordan not going to improve that lap. Ryan Preece, can he get onto the front row? He's going to need to beat Van Gisbergen, and it's not going to happen this lap. He will go faster, but sits in third. Van Gisbergen not going faster. Off of pole by 6 tenths, and he's not going to get there. And I don't know if he's going to have enough time to go back out. We only have 1 minute left on the clock. Dorian Pin is in. Zilich going faster, as he's going to have to come in this time. Armstrong, he's going to get another run at it. He's down in 6th, off by 2 seconds. Doesn't look like it will be 3 straight for Armstrong. Still a very solid effort. Van Gisbergen on an out lap. But I don't think he's going to have enough time to get to the line. The only person that could get it done, I believe, would be Armstrong. And his first sector not good enough. As time will expire, Armstrong, the only car on a lap right now. Right now he's not tracking to the good. As Marcus Armstrong will come to the line, it's not good enough. It will be Connor Zilich on pole for the second time this season. So Connor Zilich, for the second time in his career, and the second time this season, will sit on pole. And it comes here at Summit Point Raceway. So a very good effort from the number 9 team. He will be at the top of the leaderboard. So your provisional starting grid. Row 1 will be Connor Zilich leading off Shane Van Gisbergen. We've seen the number 9 and the 43 start together on the front row before, bringing back old memories of Season 1. Row 2 will be Ryan Preece and Dorian Pin. Dorian Pin with a pretty solid qualifying effort. Row 3 will be the 2 Silly Men racing cars of Chet Jordan and Marcus Armstrong. So a very solid effort from the two of them. Starting up near the front once again. In row 4 will be once again the 27 of Yuki Tsunoda, and alongside him the 18 of Callum Ilott. Row 5 will be the 2 Banshee cars, Lindsey Brewer and Benjamin Peterson, that were racing near each other for most of the time at Pocono. Row 6 going to be the number 90 of Guy Gagné, and then the 87 of Alessio Deletta. And then row 7 will have the 25 of David Malukas, who's been on a pretty good streak as of lately. But alongside him, points leader Louis Foster, starting in the middle of the pack when his main championship rival starts on the front row. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Row 8 in his debut will be the 44 of Lewis Hamilton, and alongside him will be the 77 of Stingray Robb, who just signed a contract extension about 5 minutes ago. Row 9 will be the '07 of Catherine Legg and the 00 of Glover Lore. Row 10 will be the 12 of Miles Rowe and the 42 of Gail Barnhart. Then we move down to row 11, which will be the Team Eggs teammates of Robbie Lore with another difficult qualifying result, then Jacob Abel, and then row 12, where we will find Ethan Martz and Brennan Hubbard, who also just got a contract extension just a couple minutes ago. Row 13, first time we've had a full row 13, as this will be the most starters for one race. It's going to be the 54 of Mahavir Raghunathan, and alongside him will be the number 94 of Dawa Tenzin in his debut race. So that is how the grid shakes up. A very close battle for pole, comes down to 600ths of a second, with Connor Zilich getting the best of Shane Van Gisbergen. Going to be quite an exciting race, 50 laps, a lot of short laps, but a very fast raceway. It's going to be narrow, so moves are going to have to be bold. But I will see you tomorrow for the race.